Now, when you have all the main wires removed, here are your splices. These again are what run your DRL running lights, your daytime running lights. So if you have aftermarket, then you already know the setup. You have your positive connected to one end and your negative connected to the other end. In my case, my positive is connected to a brown wire, and my negative, of course, is connected to a black wire. The other two wires that you have are a teal and another black wire. The easiest way for me to remember was the two even number wires, if you look at it. So the second wire is your positive, and that's the brown, and your last wire is the black, and that's your ground wire. So when removing these clips, all you have to do is get your finger up under the clip, and this exposes the connector that keeps both of them in place. If you're just doing a normal install, you'll probably have new connectors already. But if you've had these connectors in your truck and you've already had an aftermarket assembly set up, I would suggest that you would get some new connectors. So how to remove the lock wire connectors? The easiest way that I found to do it is to just grab them with both sides of your fingers and pry them back, and this will release the wire from your daytime running lights for your aftermarket setup to your factory wires that are running to your blinkers. You also want to do this for the positive. Guys, with the OEM setup, this is how your factory harness looks. This is your low beam, this is your high beam, and these are your two side blinkers. You're going to want to splice your daytime running lights for your new aftermarket headlights into two of these wires up here, and that will give you your power for your daytime running lights. So now guys, whether you have the OEM or whether you already have aftermarket headlights, this is what you'll be wiring up to your new headlight assembly. So first thing you want to do is you want to connect your high beam to the lower connector, and you want to connect your low beam to the higher connector. You also want to go ahead and clip this back on the given clip that holds your main wire harness connector. You pull it up and you push it on, and it should slide right on. With these, you want to hold off on them because this is what you're going to be wiring your positive and your negative so you can get your daytime running lights working. You want to identify your positive and your negative daytime running light wires from your new headlight assembly, and what you're going to do, you're going to splice these into the brown and the ground wire for your side blinker lights. This, you'll need two connectors, and I'm going to specify these connectors with red and blue, red being my positive and blue being my ground, so you can see which ones. Delete that. So first I'm going to do my positive. I'm going to slide this brown wire all the way into the slot for it to lock in place, and then I'm going to get my white daytime running light wire, and I'm going to put that adjacent to it or next to it so I can push this little center splice piece down, and that will be already good to go. So you can push it down with your finger at first, and then just come back with some channel locks, some small channel locks, and make sure that it's secure and all the way down. now you can close the clip up, and that one's ready to go. Now for my blue connector, I'm going to do the same thing with the last wire on my blinker, and I'm going to connect my black wire, which is also my ground wire, to that. So again, I'm going to slide it through. And I'm trying to get it where I had the original splice at. And then I'm going to connect my ground wire on the inside as well, and I'm going to push it down. And close that cap over, and you're good to go. Alright, so guys, before you secure everything down and put your T15s back and maybe put some wire ties on to hold the rest of the wires in place, you want to make sure that you test your headlight to make sure that the DRLs, the side blinkers, and your high and your low beams are working correctly. So that's what we're going to do now. That looks pretty good, doesn't it? Low beam. It looks good. So now you want to test your high beam. And that looks good. So now that you have all of your lights tested and working, you want to go ahead and install your side blinker lights back into the side sockets. So now what you want to do, you want to grab the access wire from your positive and your negative daytime running lights and secure it with a wire tie. You might have to use one or two, but that way you won't have any kind of wires hanging, so that reduces risk for error. Now what you want to do, you want to get the T15 bolts that you removed from your last headlight assembly and transfer it over to your new one, and this will secure your wiring harness down. So I left the plastic on so I wouldn't scratch the outside housing of the headlight, but now that we have everything wired up and ready to replace and put back in, I'm going to remove this. And I'm going to put it back in the socket. You want to make sure that all your holes line up so you can reinstall it easy. Alright, so now you want to secure your longer bolts, your 10mm bolts, to the top housing of your headlights. You don't have to lock them all the way down until you have all three installed. Now you want to do the third and final bolt down here with your 10mm ratchet or wrench. So now I'm going to do the opposite side light. I'm going to use the same instructions that I use for this headlight over here, and when I get done, I'm going to reinstall the grill, and I'm going to put the top cover back on, and I'm going to show you the finished product. Okay, YouTubers, now that we have the headlight over here installed and everything else back installed, let's test the lights out and see how they look. I'm satisfied. So this is the installation for your 2007 through 2013 headlights for your Silverado. The lights are from DNA Motoring, so I'm going to leave the link where you can buy them. You can buy them from their website, or you can buy them from eBay. I'm also going to leave the link for the Torx bit sets. You can get those on eBay, or you can get them from your local parts store for a couple bucks. And I'm also going to leave the link
from the wire connectors that you use to splice your daytime running lights into your side blinkers. I also want to give a special thanks to my wife that's been doing the camera video for me, and we're going to be doing a lot more videos in the future. Eventually I'm going to try to convert these over and actually put LED bulbs in the lights as well, so I'll have double the brightness. I'll have LED headlights and LED bulbs. I'll be doing a lot of installation videos on interior and exterior design, and a lot of electrical videos as well. So like, subscribe, and comment on my channel to see what you think about the video, and I'll be looking forward to see you again. Elite Mechanics, Danny.